Hello and welcome to One Man's Tracks, the secondhand music channel, and today I have found yet another incredibly atmospheric and enigmatic group. Sigur Rós is a difficult band to describe. I keep finding these groups that I have a hard time putting to words than making videos about them. Jeez. This is sort of a free-flowing, artful, post-rock outfit from Iceland whose gripping ambiance and minimalist tones have managed to creep their way all over the world. Their music evokes such rich, transcendent feelings and just keeps me captivated and simmering with anticipation. Sigur Rós means Victory Rose, and it's the name of frontman Jonsi Solo's little sister who was born as they were forming the group in 1994, alongside bassist Georg Holm and drummer August Gunnarsson. Jonsi sings in this enchanting falsetto and plays his guitar with a cello bow that contributes really strongly to this band's reverberating and otherworldly sound. 1997 saw the release of the band's debut album, Von, and that means hope in English. They'd be joined shortly after by Kjartan Sveinsson, and he would help them with their follow-up album in 1999 that would bring the band their inevitable international acclaim. This album right here that I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of is the one that enabled the band to tour with groups like Radiohead, and it got its international release in the UK in 2000 and followed up in the US the following year. It was put into films and TV shows, and it really grew the band's profile a ton. In 2002, the highly anticipated Brackets album was released as an sort of up-to-your-own interpretation, two-part concept LP where Jonsi uses his voice as more of a suggestive palette than using any actual lyrics. It's a language that's been dubbed Hopelantic, but it's more of his own unique form of melodic scatting, kind of similar to what you'd find in jazz, but in this case it's far more operatic and surreal sounding. That's certainly enough preamble because it catches us up to what I'm here to discuss in depth today. It's the single off of that third Untitled Brackets album. This is that single through Fat Cat Records in May of 2003. This is Sigur Rós' Untitled #1, or Vaka. It also comes with a DVD that contains their 3 very first music videos that they made, and 3 more remixed bonus tracks on the back of that single. I've never reviewed a single before, and I'm probably not likely to do so in the future, but any excuse that I could to spend a few winter weeks listening to and learning about this music was a good one. There's this familiarity to the vast and isolating nature that cuts really deep into the core of humanity's kind of perpetually isolating journey. It may seem a bit frightening to be confronted by such harsh realities, but if there was any voice you'd want to hear that message from, it would be Jonsi's soaring pipes, who put even the best orchestral choirs to shame. Like many of the grand things that humans create, Sigur Rós' music is eerily beautiful, massive yet empty, and reflective of some of the things that we fear the most. Please leave your personal thoughts and interpretations of Sigur Rós and their ethereal tones down in the comments. I'd love to know what pulled you into this group. I'm gonna now do my best to share my personal thoughts about this specific CD-DVD combo. Oh. Starting out with the phenomenal title track. I guess the reason this whole thing exists, it's Vaka, or Untitled #1. I just love it. It's so mystifying. It feels as though the whole world slows down when they start to play. Winter provides the perfect muted backdrop that complements their atmospheric depth that they can create with such soft and minimalist instrumentals that complement this mesmerizingly grandiose vocal layering. Just This whole thing feels incredibly fleshed out and just so perfectly produced. The video that accompanies it is the third one included in the DVD portion of this single, and boy does it deliver on those emotions. It's where the cover art comes from, with gas mask toting school children going out for recess in a just red ash filled wasteland, playing with ash snowballs and falling, and I think one of them dies in the end. It's powerful, poignant imagery directed by Italian director Floria Sigismondi, and it won the Best Video Award at MTV Europe Music Awards in 2003. Like the other videos included here, it was actually not the original song slated to be included for a video, with Untitled 4 being picked, so it's just great happenstance. These guys seem to just flow with whatever happens and whatever they're feeling, and boy does it hit hard basically every time here. The two other music videos are a pair of songs from their sophomore album, and once again I won't be pronouncing the Icelandic words, but I'll just plonk in the title here and say the English translation. And so we've got Sleepwalking Angels as well as A Good Day for an Airstrike, and these progressive Icelanders' epic sound provides such a fantastic narrator for a pair of boundary-pushing tales told by these videos and songs. The first of which was actually originally going to be using the music from the second, but it's this blissful open field performed by the Perlin Special Needs group of a flock of angels dancing lovingly through the field and the wind and the sunshine. It's just kind of a light, flowy, I don't know, uplifting number, I'd give it. And then the emotions start to run pretty rampant on the Good Day for an Airstrike video that's set in the 50s about a disapproving father who's got a gay son, and it just really riles you up regardless of the language that it's presented in. You are pulled right into the story and taken along for this journey. It's one of the things that makes their music so universally accessible, is the real rawness of the emotion that they managed to put forth, especially when it's added to with the visual component. The other three songs that were included on the CD portion of this single were originally just supposed to be remixes of Untitled number 1, and as much as they kind of start in a similar space, they've morphed and transitioned into something all their own. And really, if you combine all three of them together, you would get just a 13-minute bonus 9th Untitled track you could tack on at the end of the Brackets album, but it would kind of put that album a little off balance, so I guess this is kind of the place for Untitled number 9 to live. Those tracks flow seamlessly out of Vaka all the way to the end, giving you just enough of a taste to have you ready for a full serving of Sigur Rós. Their hypnotic reverberations and piercing icicle-like vocalizations create such an immense and isolating sensation that's truly moved me and given me a space to reflect on the uncertainty of years to come. They've got plenty of other releases since this that'll help me continue to forge down whatever path I choose to follow. I highly recommend you check this out or any of their other albums. I've got them linked down in the description. Jonsi's been on a bit of a creative spree as of late. I think another solo album came out, some soundtrack stuff for some movies. Recently a collaborative soundtrack called Odin's Raven Magic that came out in 2020. Once again, I'd love to know your thoughts on Sigur Rós, your favorites, concert experiences, other bands that are similar that I might enjoy. Please leave a comment down below. I appreciate the heck out of it. Like the video, everybody's doing it, and subscribe for next week's Secondhand Band. In the meantime, you can check out these other albums I think are super in my humble opinion. You take all the best care, everyone, and have a great year.